Hello, everyone. Um, Happy Friday to you. And, we're back again with Ladies Takeover. And it's a great day to have Ladies Takeover because it's actually International Women's Day. So, if you have a
Yes.
woman in your life anywhere, wish her Happy Women's Day. Um,
Yeah.
so, it's a great day to have Ladies Takeover. How you doing, Ellie?
I'm
You
all right.
good?
I'm a woman and we're taking over and it's our day. So everybody who's out there in the Spurs land, join us today because we're going to give you a great show.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see who's there in the chat right now. Not a lot of people. We have Chris. Chris
Oh,
is always here, number one Agambar on the planet, saying good morning, ladies, and everyone in the chat. Good morning to you, Chris. And Scott's here saying hello, ladies. Hi, Scott. How
hello
you
Scott.
doing? You
Hello
all right?
Chris.
And then Talking Beers
Yeah.
here. 5 a.m. show for me. Wow. Talking Beer. Talk about commitment. This is what I like
Hello.
to see. Um, and then Eugene is
Yay.
here saying hi,
Yippee.
everyone. Big up. Levy out. Spurs board
Yes.
out. So since Eugene has brought it up, we
Leave it
have
out.
to.
Ticket prices down, please.
Yeah, thank you very much. I take that.
Yeah.
And we have Kyle Patrick Vineyard. This is the first time I
Woo!
think that you come up
Come
to Ladies
on,
Takeover. You
Carl.
come and talk ball
Who let
generally.
the
So
dogs out? Who?
uh, big up to you, Kyle. We're very well. Hope you're well as well. Now, since Eugene has brought it up, I feel like we just have to talk about it. Ticket prices, right?
Yes.
There was a protest at the start of the season about the rise in ticket prices. Then now they've increased season ticket prices and they've removed concessions for seniors and for children, like people with families. So now Ellie is a match going fan, somebody who goes regularly for games, and somebody who knows both seniors and people with families who go for games. How do you feel about this?
I'm not very pleased with it because I was in Irish Hotspurs chat as well yesterday, saying all sorts of backing of the not putting up prices because they put it up above inflation. They've
Yeah.
made no concession for the elderly, who have supported the club throughout their lives, and now they're getting punished really by not getting any leeway on the ticket prices, and I just think it's disgraceful. I think it's not just disgraceful, it's greed, right? Because there's enough money in the game, there's enough money being generated by other things in the game, so they don't need to put ticket prices. And I heard somebody say that it's only £2 million profit extra they'll make, but they'll make that anyway. They can make it up in other areas. And Spurs, with Daniel Levy, he's got so many ventures going on at the club that he doesn't need to do that. He really doesn't.
Yeah, and uh, s- so Talking Bears asking how much are ticket prices from an American. So from what I understand, like the most affordable ticket has gone up from season ticket has gone up from £807 to £858. That's like the cheap, like on the cheapest side.
Yeah.
Ellie, like do you know what the prices are like generally?
Well, I know what they are singly. It depends. They do A, B, C, D, A, B, C, and categories for the matches. So a C category would be the cheapest would be £54.50 for a single
Yeah,
ticket, and the most expensive one for the A tickets are up to £98 to £105. So it's quite
yeah,
hefty because you have to have your travel. If you're going to buy
yeah,
a program, you're going to buy food as well, and then you're going to buy drinks. And normally you're
yeah,
in a crowd, so you buy drinks for other people and they buy for
yeah.
you. So it comes out to about 150, £160 per match every time you go. Even
Yeah,
when you go with the cheaper prices, because you're going for meals as well after the
yeah,
match with
yeah,
friends. I know you don't have to, but it's part of the experience and part of the
yeah,
camaraderie that you share
yeah,
with other fans. So it's sad if you have to go home because you can't afford it because the ticket prices have gone up, you know.
Yeah, yeah,
And
I
we're
I
already
agree.
the
I mean,
most expensive in the Premier League, I believe.
yeah, yeah, and the thing is, if you think about it, like if, for example, if you're like if you're a family that's going together, if you're two parents and two children, even with the children's concessions and the half price, you're spending about £300 just on tickets, you
Yeah,
know, and
true.
then everything else, the meals and the drinks and everything, that's extra, right? So
That's
like
true.
someone like Lee, if he's taking his daughter along for the game, that could be really, really pricey. Uh, and
Yeah,
it just feels like it's not worth it for family time, or like, because like football's always been like that working class game, right? It's an affordable game. It's not the highbrow sort of game that you
yeah,
watch with the prawn sandwiches. It's supposed to be that game. Like the prawn sandwich crowd is not the one that's getting the team going, right? It's the people in the south stand screaming and screaming
yeah,
chants and singing along. That those are the people that are getting the crowd going. So you gotta
yeah.
like
Yeah, and those are the ones who are going to be priced out because working
yeah,
classes, obviously, we don't earn as much as the richer classes. But
yeah,
even like I was sitting in the concourse for the Brighton match, just having a pizza, and this gentleman came and sat next to me with his young lad, and he said he couldn't bring his daughter. He brought his daughter three matches ago, but that he can't afford to bring them both, and he loves to have them both there, but he just couldn't
yeah,
afford it. And he was from Lee's area in Oxfordshire, and he said the
yeah,
petrol money to come down, because he came down by car, then parking, because you have to pay for parking. It's very rare you can find somewhere to park near the ground. When you've got children, you want to park quite near the ground. So that's
yeah,
that. And then the program, the food. He said he spent £180 on the tickets alone, and another
yeah,
£120 on petrol, food, and everything. So it was £300. You're right, just for two of
yeah,
them. It's not fair, and you're pricing that gentleman out because he won't be able to come to every match. And even if
yeah,
you want to watch it on telly, it's expensive to subscribe. You know, so
yeah,
it's just become another game now, hasn't it?
yeah, yeah.
It's been taken over by rich men who don't have a care for the average fan. They
Yeah,
don't.
exactly. Like last year, Levy's salary increased. Why did his salary, like he gets paid the most of all the chairmen across the Premier League.
Yeah,
Now, what has he done to deserve being paid, being the highest paid chairman across the leagues? He has not won anything. He has not built anything up that's so amazing that other chairmen have not done. Other people have built stadiums in the past. So the idea that he'd be the highest paying chairperson across the league boggles my mind, including clubs that have more money like Man City or those sort of clubs. So the idea that uh, it's just to account for inflation is also ridiculous, because if you're
yeah,
accounting for inflation, there are other places that you can make cuts. I understand the fact that when you're increasing the price, of something, it's sometimes to do with the increasing costs as well. So, for example, to hold a game, you need security, you need a lot of things that require money, you need marketing, and all of these things take money. And so, what you're doing is that you're balancing your books between your expenditure and your revenue. So that's
yeah,
why you have to account for inflation as the price goes up.
yeah,
But that's not the same as giving yourself a giant payout while the regular folk are suffering. Like, it's the senior concessions, the concessions for children. Those are the things that I have a problem with the most, because what you're
yeah,
doing is that you are uh, that hefty paycheck that you get, you are taking it out on the most vulnerable of your fans. The seniors, the kids, the ones who really, really, really need that experience to sort of, every weekend to sort of like socialize. That's their community, that's their life, that's what they've sort of that's what the club is built on. Like, the ethos, the spirit of the club is built on these people. So I feel
yeah.
like like increase the prices for the prawn sandwiches. I don't care about that. Nobody's eating, like, it's only the rich folk that are eating those. uh
Yeah,
it's not like, increase it on those people, the people who sit in the fancy boxes, etc. Those are the people you gotta, like, target, because they have the money clearly, and they'll come if it's like 100 pounds more or 100 pounds less, because they're really rich. So yeah,
yeah.
sorry, uh,
I
and
know, I know.
Ellie.
It brings out a passion in you. And also, what I'd like to add, if we're the FFP champions, right? So come this summer, we're going to see what Levy's all about in regards to spending that FFP money, right? So if he shortchanges us and goes for two good ones and 4 or 5 youngsters who we can't play, and they loan them back to their clubs, right? Like he's been doing in the past. He's done 1 or 2 reloans, like he did with Yodoji. And now he's done it with Bergvall as well. So I just, the jury's out. The jury's out on what Levy's doing. But the thing is, all right, we can give him credit for making us sustainable and making us profitable, but we want to see that profit turn into trophies, because
Yeah,
Manchester City have had the model where they've had money and they've turned it into trophies, whereas we haven't. All right, so let's see what Ange can do as well with his
yeah.
persuasive powers to get Levy to move and help him even more cut this coming summer with this FFP money that's been stored up.
Yeah, yeah. um Talking Beer is saying that having NFL games has won over a lot of Americans. Yeah, exactly. Like,
Yeah,
find alternate avenues to
yeah,
get the revenue from and recover your costs. Nobody's saying don't have Beyonce concerts or NFL or Formula
no,
One. All those things are great. Build your hotels, do all of that, and recoup the cost from that. Don't make the average fan pay for those costs instead.
yeah.
um
I was having an interesting discussion just before you read David's lovely comment out. I was having an interesting discussion at the ground with a very old gentleman who's been going to Spurs for 60 odd years. He's very well known in our community. I won't give you his name because he might want to stay private. But what he said is, like, you look over at the Spurs ground and you see Beyonce's picture, you see other people's being advertised, and then you'll see our one is sort of in the background, and we haven't got anything outside the stadium to say how fabulous we've been in the past and glorifying our great club, how we won the FA Cup in 1901 as a non-league team, how we've done the double, the first team to do it for 64 years. All these things should be outside the ground as well, or if not outside the ground, where the trophies are, so people can look in and see what Spurs are all about and know the history of Spurs, because that's very important, because your history shapes your future. And if you don't shape your future, you haven't got any past. You know, you have to
yeah,
go with the
absolutely.
you know what I mean by that. You have to know your past to know your future. Yeah, and we are getting back to Ange Postecoglou's playing the right style of football, forward-thinking football. So that's one good thing. But it has to yield trophies as well, because that's what Spurs we were doing.
Yeah, Ellie, like, so, when the stadium was being built, the supporters trust was promised that there'd be a Bill Nick statue. And I'm not sure about the geography, because, like, I'm not a local, but apparently there was going to be a Bill Nick statue outside of the stadium somewhere, and that never got built. That promise never got kept. It
I
shows the
know,
lack of, like, respect for the history of the club, the heroes of
I
the club.
know. And
That's
everything to do with Daniel Levy's era. He's got a big mural of Harry Kane. No disrespect to Harry Kane. It's a lovely
yeah,
mural, but there should be one of Bill Nicholson. If you're going to do one of Harry Kane, you should also do one of Jimmy Greaves, who's our greatest ever scorer before Kane came along, and he is still the English top scorer out of every league. All right, and
yeah,
then you have one of Bill Nicholson as well, because he was,
yeah.
and also Steve Perryman, who is the most decorated player in our history, because he was before Levy. He doesn't want to know.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And this is my problem. Like Levy puts himself and Enoch before the club. The club
Yeah,
should be number one. The priority should be the club. The Beyonce concerts are to increase the revenue of the club. The club is
yeah,
not there to have Beyonce concerts. Like,
yeah,
uh, it's a difference of priorities, not a difference of what you want. Like, by all means, have, like, I am for the Beyonce concerts. I want there to be
yeah, of
more
course. My
revenue.
daughters
But
went
then,
to them. So,
yeah, but that,
they love
it should be,
Beyonce.
yeah,
There's
it
nothing
should be,
wrong with that.
yeah, it should be, but it should be like at the Tottenham Hotspur like it shouldn't be Tottenham Hotspur Stadium hosting Beyonce, but Beyonce at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium,
Yeah,
because it's the point is that you're going to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium,
yeah,
and more people should know about that. So
yeah.
yeah, sorry,
And I
early
really
morning.
think we should call it White Hart Lane and not the
Yeah, I
Tottenham
agree as
Hotspur.
well.
Not us. I think the club should name
Yeah.
it White Hart Lane because that's part of our heritage. That's part of our history. You know.
Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly. I've always
Yeah,
called it that, but the problem is that obviously Levy will get some revenue out of the naming rights, so it'll probably be
yeah,
called Uber Eats Tottenham Hotspur Stadium or some stupid thing like that. Um,
yeah,
uh,
yeah,
good, good morning, David. And
yeah. Good
talking
morning,
beer thing.
David. I had a
Yeah, I
nice
feel like
chat
we
with him
ignored
in the
David for
morning.
really, really
I
long.
sent him the link, so get him in here.
And talking beer saying NFL tickets are more than that. But I feel like NFL fans complain about this as well. The fact that working class people are being priced out of their game, and
How long
that
is an NFL game? I don't know how long an NFL game goes for, but the
I
football
have no
match
clue,
goes.
Ellie. I talk in beer, you would know. I have not even seen a full NFL game. I've just
No,
seen like
I've
movies.
watched, but I don't know how long they are.
Yeah, like I've seen. I The only thing I know about NFL is from sports movies. Like remember the Titans and stuff. That's all I know about the whole sport. Like I know nothing
Yeah.
about it.
You know what though? The Americans are the best at presenting sports shows. They're absolutely
Yeah.
fantastic, and their whole
Yeah.
experience, I'd imagine. My daughter went to University of Miami, and she was
Yeah.
going to their youth setup from Miami University, and it was fabulous. The pictures
Oh
and the
wow.
videos she sent me were absolutely, they were brilliant. Yeah,
Yeah, I feel like there's this local support for teams that's just wonderful the way they do it. Like they know how to throw a party, the Americans.
yeah, they
Uh
do. They're like the Aussies. The Aussies love to
yeah,
party as well.
yeah.
I think the
Uh
Aussies can rival the Americans, I'm telling you. Especially the
that is
pubs in
true, that is
London that are
true.
Aussie pubs. They're fabulous. I know David
Yeah,
will know that because the
yeah.
pubs in Australia are brilliant as well. But the ones in London, they're fabulous.
Yeah, I love the pubs in London. Like I studied at LSC for a little while, just for a few
Oh,
months.
did
And
you? Lovely.
yeah, it was a lovely experience just because the pubs and all were really good, and it was a great experience for me.
Yeah,
Um
my daughter Sophia got a scholarship to go there, but she chose University of Sussex because of the Miami thing. Because it was
yeah,
4 years. The history of America was part of
yeah.
her history degree, so she chose that
Uh-huh.
university. But she could have gone to London School of Economics. So you might have crossed paths because she's 32,
Yeah.
and you
Yeah,
never
we
know.
might have. No,
Yeah,
this is Sophia. Sophia,
Sophia.
right?
Yeah, my youngest. Yeah,
Yeah.
there you go.
Oh, a small world. And then
It is.
they were saying elderly concessions are a disgrace. Yeah,
They
David, I
are.
agree
They
with you.
really
They
are.
really
It's
are.
disgraceful what they've done, and
Yeah,
I feel really disappointed from a
yeah,
girl from Tottenham as well. We're growing up in Tottenham, quite a deprived area, and it still is. And what there was one thing that was said that even angered me more about somebody said that Ange Postecoglou doesn't give a damn about
yeah,
ticket prices. He's there to manage. How do they know that he doesn't give a damn? Are they in his
yeah,
head? So I had to make a point and say that. You know,
yeah.
he well, I'm not saying he does care, but I'm not saying you should say he doesn't care.
Yeah. Also, like, I'm sure he would want, like any manager would want the ticket prices to be low, because they want a full house. They'd want the team to be cheered on, and so that it becomes a fortress. All of these things, but it's not in the hands of the manager. The way modern clubs are set up, you have a job profile. Your job profile doesn't include
Yeah,
marketing and pricing and finance and all these other things.
true.
So if they can't interfere in your job, then you can't interfere in their job either.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it's, even if you do care about ticket prices, there's not much you can say. um
that's it. You have to
and then,
keep stum, otherwise you can lose your job. That's the
yeah,
problem.
exactly,
You know,
exactly.
the chairman
And
and the board have got all the power, haven't they? Not the
yeah,
managers. The
yeah,
managers, it can be taken just like that. You know,
yeah,
one day you're in a job and the next day you're not.
yeah, yeah. It is unfortunate how little power managers have over these
Yeah,
things.
but you know what? Don't feel too sorry for them because they're getting millions.
Yeah, they earn millions, it's true.
Yeah, they earn
um
millions.
yeah, that is true. Talking Bear saying there are only 6 gown games. What is a gown game?
Six
Home game?
gown games. Oh, I don't know what gown games means. Can you elaborate on that, talking beer or Nick?
Yeah. Um, and Phil P is
Woo!
here saying big
Come
woo, big up
on.
Ellie, Ash, happy
Mwah.
International Women's Day. I can't
Yeah,
wish that back to you, Phil P, but thank you for the wishes.
yeah.
And please do wish all the women in your like in your family and around in and around you. David Shear saying, but the
Is
stadium is a
a
lot
lot,
as
as was our
was
Optus
our
Stadium.
opposite.
Oh, but to build it was a lot, maybe he means.
Oh,
Yeah?
maybe.
Because we went over budget on it, didn't we?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But
Yeah,
that loan is a very long-term loan. It's a very like financeable loan, and it was refinanced after COVID. So
yeah.
honestly, it's not such a big deal. Like paying back the
No,
stadium, it's not such a
yeah.
big deal. Uh, College AM football games are 60. Are you serious? College
Yeah.
football is $65. That's insane.
My daughter got in free because she was part of the University of Miami, so she didn't have to pay,
Oh, right.
which was good.
Yeah,
Yeah, and they were giving all this memorabilia and loads of gloves and scarves
yeah,
and the kit and everything free of charge, which was really lovely
yeah,
of the university.
yeah. It's a
Yeah,
good touch, and it makes you remember the
yeah.
games more fondly.
Well done,
Uh,
University of Miami.
I Swap is saying bro's giving himself a salary. Wish
Woo!
I could have done that.
Yeah,
Yeah, wish I could pay myself too, Ellie. We'd all love to pay ourselves.
yeah,
And
definitely.
then Daniel Lee saying any Spurs fan who defends Daniel Lee scamming the elders out of more money is a disgrace as well. Yeah, it's a scam. Daniel Lee's absolutely right. This is a scam. This is what pyramid schemes are like. I'm sorry. Like, this is ridiculous. And then Swap
Yeah,
is saying gift membership if you are agitated on Levy's move. Yes, absolutely, everyone. At
yeah,
least,
that's true. Gift the membership, yes.
yeah. Talking Bear saying once the stadium loan is paid off, does the NFL and music concerts go toward FFP? I think that it already goes towards FFP because we give a small amount for the loan, and then we have a lot remaining, and so that all goes towards FFP anyway. And
Yeah,
anything that we spend on our youth setup and on our women's team also adds to FFP, because that gets offset in FFP. So, which means that we should do better in the youth system and on the women's team, because they don't count for FFP. And
yeah.
everyone, yeah, go on, Ellie.
No, I was going to say the women had 60,000 fans at Arsenal, which they will get some of the receipts from that because obviously the away supporters we had 2,000 or 3,000, I believe. So yeah, it's getting bigger and bigger, the women's game. So more and more revenues are being generated from it. And Levy's going to be the first one to latch onto it. Don't you worry.
Yeah,
He will.
yeah, it is true. And Collins come in and reminded us
Yeah.
that those memberships are available on this link. So everyone, if you
Yes.
like
Come on.
the content, get a membership. We charge way less than Levy does,
How do I
so
go? That way, isn't it? Like that.
Morning to the lovely Ash. Hi, and the
Tempted.
amazing Queen Ellie. Hey, Shamtan, how you doing? You all right? Uh, and then
Nice
Shamtan's also
one.
coming to say Levy doesn't care about Spurs history. He cares about profit. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm waiting for Leo to come in now. Come on, Leo. Send out a message to Leo, everybody, to get him in.
Yeah.
I sent him the link, but he's probably not woken up yet. I think he's 7 hours before, so it's 4 o'clock in the
Yeah,
morning.
I'm guessing he's somewhere similar to Talking Bears time, which is
Yeah,
like 5 in the morning. So unfortunate. Stay
yeah,
Humble's here
it's
saying it's
unlucky.
the Levy show, as usual. Yeah, it is the Levy show, unfortunately. That is right through the league. Football was huge before 1991. Yeah,
Yeah,
that is true. Um,
yeah.
Now Beyonce has gone country and western. Did you
She,
know, David Shearer, that
yeehaw!
that Beyonce is from Texas? She's
Yeah,
actually more country in that sense than Taylor Swift, because Taylor Swift
yeah,
isn't like from a traditional country state. From what I
yeah,
understand about America. Daniel is saying the other day showed Levy didn't give a crap about his fans screwing out older people, getting these comebacks out of my football club. I'm ashamed to say I support Spurs after that. Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, this is the problem also
Mm.
with supporting football. So like this football support is inelastic, and what I mean by that is like if I don't like a detergent or a soap, I can go to the market and I can buy another soap, I can buy some other company, another brand. But if I don't like what Spurs are doing, I can't just go off down the road to Arsenal, right? Like that's
No,
not how supporting a
it's
football club
sacrilege.
works. Yeah, so you're sort of like it's you're sort of keeping these fans captive because they can't go anywhere else. They're
Yeah.
just it's a little bit
Well,
like that.
the thing is, you can go and see your local team, but it's not the
Yeah,
same as support. You've got Spurs in your heart. But
yeah,
what I would say to people, go and see more ladies' games, because the ladies' game
yeah,
has come on leaps and bounds in terms of the fitness. As a former player myself, I can see the difference and the way the game's going. So what I would say, rather than support your local team if you can't afford to go, but also support the
yeah,
ladies' team, because the ladies' tickets are very, very cheap. You can pick one
yeah,
up for £7, £7.50, and that's in a very, very good seat at the Spurs Stadium at White Hart Lane. So when we play Man City in the quarterfinals of the FA Cup, I hope they play it at the Spurs Stadium rather than Brisbane Road, because I think we
yeah,
can get a massive crowd and get behind the team. You know,
yeah. And if you look at our performances versus Man City, the women's performances,
very
they have
bad.
been improving. Like we
But
started out
yeah, like from
losing
seven,
7-0, and
seven,
now
yeah,
we're down to like 1-0. So it means that this game could potentially be the game. Like, it's like when you
it
have
could
a
be the one we
long
we
time.
turn it around. Yeah.
Yeah, we
I
could turn
hope
it
so,
around. I
because
feel like we
Man
could.
City have got a lot of very good players, but we've also got very good players as well. We've got Gracie Clinton, who made it into the
Yeah,
England squad and scored on her debut. So, we're
yeah,
looking up at Spurs. We're sixth in the league. So we're like mid table if you can. There's only 12 teams in the league. But we've had an improvement in the way and the style of play. The goal that we
yeah,
scored against Arsenal was absolutely fabulous. So I would
yeah.
urge people to go and support the ladies' team.
Yeah, and come on, Levy, spend those big bucks on places with FFP benefits. Get us Gracie Clinton. Just give United loads
Yes,
and loads of money. It's
yeah.
possible. Make
I
this
just hope
happen.
she wants to stay as well, because it's up to her as well, rather, because she's from that area, from Manchester.
Yeah,
So she's got to want to come. So I hope we show progression in this FA Cup and we actually win it. That would be
yeah.
fabulous.
Yeah, that would be amazing. And it would be really funny because the women won a trophy before the men did. That would be
Yes, come
hilarious.
on.
And then talking beer saying watching an NFL game is painful. Oh, I would not know. I haven't seen one ever. And then David saying, "This really, Ellie. Ellie threatened me with saying for our Beyonce if I didn't show up."
That's a bit of a falsity, but I like the joke. David, you're so funny, man. Crack me up.
Yeah. Talking beer saying college football is way better. I would
Yeah.
take your word for it, Talking Bear. And NBA last quarter drones on and on. Okay, so
Oh
now we're talking about
yeah.
sports I know nothing about. And then Dave is like the pubs rock in England as well.
Yeah.
Um, and then Shemtan's here saying Levy's making more money keeping it as Tottenham Hotspur Stadium than with the naming rights, concerts, shows, sporting events are all known as the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree with this. I think that it's better that it stays the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium than become like, Emirates or Etihad or, these brand names. Like this French league, I really hated the fact that it was called Uber Eats League One. Like that, I think they just recently changed sponsor, but before that, it used to be called Uber Eats League One, and that's just ridiculous for a league to be called that. I'm sorry. So
Yeah.
I feel like at
And
least Tottenham Hotspur Stadium is better than all of those options.
very true. And the very man they brought in to administer this naming rights sponsorship, he's gone to Chelsea. He's jumped ship because apparently, I don't know all the ins and outs, but what I've heard on the grapevine is that he wasn't very nice and he was pushed out and he didn't get on with people and, and he's jumped ship to Chelsea. So without doing what he's supposed to, what he was brought in to do is to get the naming rights all sorted. So it couldn't have been that big on the agenda because they're making enough money as it is. So they're
Yeah,
probably not going to even get any naming rights now, I would
yeah,
imagine.
yeah. I would imagine too as well. I agree with that.
Yeah,
And Talking Bear saying that he has a daughter named Sophia as
yeah, it's a
well.
good name. I
It's a
named my
lovely
daughter
name.
Sophia after Sophia Loren because my father
Oh,
was,
what a stunner!
yeah, my father was. I would watch Sophia Loren films with my dad because he had a crush on her,
Yeah,
like many
yeah,
men and
yeah. My
women
God, she was
alike.
the woman of that time, no, wasn't she?
Yeah,
Uh, And then Shemtan saying Spurs are no longer a football team but a name brand. Yeah, but I feel like that's every team. It's unfortunate.
yeah,
Tottenham are a
that's the way
worldwide
the
brand.
game's gone.
This is a good thing. You know, Talking Beer, I was thinking about this. A lot of people in my Indian circles were saying, we don't care about this. Ticket prices increase for like fans, local fans. How does it matter to us? But my like response to that was, what do you pay for? Like, if you're thinking in terms of if you're not a fan, but you're actually a customer for a brand, then you pay for the whole experience, right? Those South Korean fans who come to the stadium to support Sunny, they don't want to come to an empty, sad stadium. All those tourist fans, if all the fans in the stadium become tourists because they're the only ones who can afford it, then they will lose the experience because they will just be with other tourists. You know what I'm saying? So, like,
Yeah,
the point, the local fans are what make the game. The fans that travel with the team away to like locations, unheard of locations at the back of beyond, those are the fans that make your team, and they're the fans who are in when it's rain, when it's sun, when it's shine. Like, you gotta
yeah,
support those
I get
fans
that.
because they're the bedrock on which like your like on which the team is made, and that is the product, like that is the product you have sold or everywhere, that Spurs community, that you'll be part of this giant Spurs community, and you'll always be at home wherever because you'll find a fellow Spurs fan. So that
Yeah,
idea and that togetherness comes from the fact that it's a working class sport. So I feel like
yeah.
international fans should worry about this.
Yeah, like when you're building a club and you're making a brand, right? You don't want to get rid of the foundation that made you what you are. And the
Yeah,
foundation is those older fans who've seen us win trophies and had experience. And no, the foreign fans that come from other countries to support our club, they're fantastic as well. And we all gel together as one, and they learn from us and we learn from them what they like about the club and what we've seen from the club, and we can join experiences. Like I've sat in the concourse and had chats with many South Korean fans and other fans from other countries, and I educate them in why Spurs are Spurs, and they're very fascinated because a lot of them know a little bit but they don't know a lot, so I educate them on why we are Spurs, where we got our name from, or trophies that we've won, and like it's nice for them to know about the history of the club, because that's, like I said before, the history makes the club, and then you take that ethos that we had into the future, and we can repeat the success that we had then, because football is very different now, but it's still the game of football. It's still 11 men against 11, and the style of football you play is very important as your identity. Yeah, you're on mute.
Sorry.
That's all right.
David
I'll do that a lot.
saying Man U started it all the way back, floating on the stock exchange, didn't they? I think it was a combination of things. The Premier League
Yeah,
forming itself was one of those TV rights things for Sky TV,
yeah,
and then Abramovich coming and sort of like making prices sky high, bringing all that oil money, and then all the other oil billionaires came, Man Cities, and now Newcastle. Plus this also, like the Glazers came and they floated Manu on the stock market. So I feel like it's a combination of things.
yeah, true.
Just a sec, Ellie. My computer says it's uh, going to restart itself. I'm going to figure out a way to stop that. Just give me a
Yeah, I think
second.
you can delay it, can't you? Yeah. While you're doing that, David Shia, sorry, Shem Manu started it all the way back floating on the stock. Yeah, you've read that one already. Yeah. So David, do you just let us know? Are you against these price rises? Like, and give us the reasons why you're against them. Because, like, you can say little bits here and there, but try and sort of elaborate on it as well. Why you're for it or against it. So Daniel E saying, I'm telling you now, they better do a U-turn on no concession on elder people screwing out the fans that were at the beginning. My great granddad was a Tottenham fan. I'm ashamed to say I support this club. Very true, Daniel. It's disgraceful. I think if they don't have a U-turn, they're going to get such a backlash. I'm telling you. And it's not just from the Levy outers; it's from everybody who support the elderly, who've supported our club throughout many years. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm so
absolutely.
angry about it.
I have a feeling I have stopped the restart, but I am not sure.
Good. Come on.
Uh,
If you suddenly disappear into the abyss, we know why.
yeah. Uh, and then David saying, ours cost 1.8 billion to build where Spurs played West Ham preseason. That was the Optus Sports Stadium Oh, thank you.
Oh, right,
Uh,
yeah.
yeah.
So that
Um,
was a big money spend by the Aussies there. 1.8
Taxpayer
billion.
funded.
Wow.
That's actually good. I feel like
Taxpayer
stadiums
funded.
when stadiums are taxpayer funded, they're always open to the public, and so anyone can come in and use them, like to do football practice or drills or whatever it is. Schools come in, like not without permission, but like local schools use them. Like this, we have something like this in India as well. Like all of the Olympics venues, the Asian Games, all these sort of things become places where schools and all can practice their athletics and sports and
Yeah,
all of that. And so it's open to the public at all times whenever they want to use it.
that's
So
really
that's
good. I love
that's
that.
the good
I
thing
love
about
that.
taxpayer funded.
Giving something back to your community. That's what it's all
Yeah,
about.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. And then David's saying we had Pink the other day. Oh, I love Pink. Pink is great.
Ah, yeah. She's brilliant.
Yeah. And Kuva's here. Sorry,
Woo!
Kuva, I didn't see you earlier.
Mwah! Cooper
Saying, wake up,
Bear.
ladies. Good to see Mr. Levy further alienating fans. Yeah, I mean,
I
the man
know.
knows how to make himself hated. It is a special skill, Kuva, to be this
It
hated.
really is. Oh my God. Do you know what? He must feel like when he's doing these things, does he actually consult with financiers, or does he just do it on his own back and disappoint people, especially with the
Yeah,
elderly? Like we've said, it's just so disgraceful. He
yeah,
should really have a
absolutely.
rethink. If he doesn't backtrack on this, I think he's going to get a big backlash.
Yeah. Yeah, I absolutely
Yeah.
agree.
Nick was there,
Uh,
Barry Ranjit.
and they were saying, nah, Ash, Tay, and Beyonce are both shockers. Yeah, absolutely. They don't make musicians like Chris Cornell anymore.
Yeah.
hashtag bring Chris Cornell back from the dead. And then Talking Bear saying Taylor Swift is from Pennsylvania, definitely not a country state. Yes, thank you,
No,
thank you.
it isn't.
Uh, Daniel saying Tottenham has been passed on generations to my family, and Tottenham Football Club are basically just pissing all over that. Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much. Um,
Because you know what it is, Daniel E? It's because they know they can get other supporters in that are wealthy, and that's why they build these big conference centres and big spaces for the rich and wealthy. And they're all
yeah,
networking in there. I was in there and they were all networking. They're
yeah,
not talking about football, they're talking about their businesses and networking,
yeah,
you
yeah,
know?
yeah, exactly. Like David saying, like the Beach Boys who never surfed. That is true. But you know, I kind of like the Beach Boys. The
But the
Beach Boys are the ones who,
USA.
yeah, the Beach Boys are the same ones who were like, wouldn't it be nice if we were older? Is that Beach
Oh,
Boys?
I wish
That is
they
right.
could be all California girls. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Well, you got a Greek girl and an Asian girl here, so you don't need the
yeah,
California girls.
yeah. Uh, so, Inner Hype. I've never seen that name before. So hi, Inner Hype. Hi for being here. Saying Celtic 20,000
Oh
for a
yeah,
lady. Old Firm game last season for the league decide. That's amazing. In a hype. I really hope that all women's games everywhere get a lot of attendance because they're amazing and they don't have VAR. That is such a big thing. Like the
I
WS
know.
doesn't have VAR. It's
For
so comfortable
now,
to know a goal is a goal, a foul is a foul, a card is a card. All these things are
yeah,
so set in stone. It's just the best.
they're not going
Um,
to mess with it for now. But as the ladies' games gets bigger and bigger, and it's grown so much in the last 5 years, especially, right? They're going to introduce it. They will. You watch. They'll do
yeah,
everything the man's game. They'll model it. They'll model it.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's a
They're going to
shame.
drive people away.
Yeah, they will. They will because without war, it's way more tall. Like it's amazing for me. I watch it just to get away from war for a while. And
Yeah.
big up Wayne Bonner.
Wait,
Um,
Bonner.
Wayne
Woo!
Bonner becoming a YouTube member.
Well done.
Amazing. Everyone,
Amazing.
be like Wayne. Grab those memberships. They're a lot cheaper than our
Yeah.
top tickets. So, and you won't regret it. Um,
No. There's no regret when you come to Talking Ball and El Tel Cacarel. Jose. Do you
Absolutely.
know what I like when Chang says Senor Garcia?
Senor
I love
Garcia.
it.
And he does this as well.
Senor
Senor
Garcia.
Garcia. And I'm just like, and then we have
Makes
Queza
me
Ali
laugh.
saying, hey, y'all. Hey,
Where's
Queza
Ali?
Ali. Queza Ali. I love that name. It's such a
I
nice
know.
name.
It reminds me of
Um,
that song, like on Aladdin, when they say, they don't say Kwezali, I think they say something else, Ali. But it
yeah.
goes, Kwezali.
David saying, who will Levy jump to? Oh, wait. I have no clue what that means.
On the
David,
gun.
uh, yeah, everyone's sort of like having a small discussion. Levy brings this out in people, this
Yeah,
fan.
it brings out the anger.
Yeah,
Unless you support him. Like, I was having a chat with Del on WhatsApp groups, and like we've got polar opposite opinions, but we love each other,
yeah,
so you stay friends regardless, because we're all Spurs fans at the end of the day.
yeah. Uh, the thing is, I don't have like for me, it's not a question of Levy in or Levy out just for the sake of it. It's a question of what are the club's priorities, and I want to see the club's priorities being football, the football team first, and after the football team, the fans. The fans that make the team. So if the club can prove to me that those are its priorities, I don't care who's in charge. Unfortunately, Levy makes it about himself by doing stuff like this and then making
Yeah,
it hard for, like, making him hard it hard for anybody to s- be complimentary of management, because it's very hard to defend something like this, you know. So
Yeah. The
so
thing is,
I
without the fans, there won't be any football club. So it
yeah,
has to go in conjunction with each other. Like the
yeah,
fans are the most important if you look at it that way, because they're the ones who will keep the Tottenham Hotspur alive. Without our money coming in, right? Oh yeah, they can make money elsewhere, but they're not going to make as much money to keep the club as they want to progress, you know. So they need the fans to be on board with everything they're doing. And if they upset the fans like they've done now, this can be a massive backlash on them, you know, and
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
expecting it to be. So
yeah.
I think they're going to backtrack on this, what they've done to the elderly people.
I really hope so. Like, I feel like, you know, yes, I understand that, you know, over time, some ticket prices have to be raised because costs increase. I understand that. But, you know, the elderly concessions, the concessions for children, these are things that should be set in stone. So I
Yeah,
feel like, yes, it's happening everywhere, you know, because it's a like profit motive based industry, like everything else. You will see a little bit of that, but like David Share and Stay Humble are having like a give back and forth in the chat, and I just like to say that I want my club to be held to a really high standard. So I don't care
yeah.
who's in charge. I just want them to take care of the fans, the most vulnerable fans, the fans that matter the most. Um,
Do you know what, as well? They're all billionaires, these football owners, right? Surely they can bash their heads together and come up with a plan to overcome this rise in inflation and the cost of living, to make a concession for the elderly, because they've worked all their lives to get these concessions. They've pumped into the club so many thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of pounds, right, from their own pockets year on, year out. So they deserve it. They deserve to be given a bonus back,
yeah,
something back, give
exactly.
back. Don't always take people, these rich men and rich women, don't always take, give back.
Yeah, absolutely. Audio Artisan saying, morning, peeps. Morning, Audio.
Morning, morning.
And Nick is here, not talking about Emerson. He's saying price rises, not against. Concessions, yes, against. Issue is the demographics. There won't be a backlash. Look at the match day tickets. They could have raised them further. Yeah, I agree. So it's kind of like it's the same as the idea of like progressive pricing, right? Like you, the people who can afford to pay it, you get as high a price from them as you can, and the people who can't afford to pay it, which is like the elderly and children and etc., you give them concessions, so then it balances out the revenues. That's what progressive pricing is, right? And people do this with everything from airline tickets to rail. I don't know if this happens. We have senior concession for like airline tickets and railway tickets and these sort of things. I don't know if that's the case in
Yeah.
England as well.
Yeah, it's the same. You get concessions for lots of different things, but like even on benefits, you get concessions on benefits. They give you extra cold weather payments. They give you extra money on your carers. You know, there's so many things that the government do to help people that are elderly. But when it comes to football, it's like they're drawing the line, and they're making they're pushing people away that want to come to the ground and support their club they've loved for so many years since they were a kid, you know. And if they price them out, it's not fair. It really isn't.
Yeah, and Nick's also saying the one thing they could have done is punish those who don't come to games and have a ST. They're ones stopping real fans going just for a tax write-off. Is this a thing that
Yeah,
happens, Ellie? That's insane.
I know. It's the way of the world. You know, there's too much greed. Grab, grab, grab. You know, don't grab all the time. Give something back. And it's giving it to your community, the people that have stood by you for like through generations. Like Daniel E says, his great grandfather.
Yeah.
my great grandfather was in Cyprus, so he never knew Spurs. But my father did, and he moved to Tottenham from a very young age when he came to England. And we were all Spurs fans, and we've passed it. Nobody in our family supports anybody but Spurs. They can't. It's sacrilege. So that's part of our community, and it's spread out throughout many millions of families throughout the world. And like you've got old elderly people that have moved out of the country that might want to come to a match as well, and they'll be priced out, so they got to do something about it. Come on.
Yeah. Nick's also saying, I think sooner or later the women's game will be at the new stadium and we'll build a 100K stadium somewhere else. Nick, I don't know if that will happen, but definitely
Oh,
we're looking into
bloody
multi-club
hell.
ownership. I know that like Spurs and ENIC are slowly going to do what Ineos is doing, and and from the City Group is doing, and try and like own several clubs across the world. So it's going to happen slowly and steadily.
Yeah. I would love to look at the books about how much they're giving to the ladies' game as well, because we made a concession at the beginning of last season to make more home games at White Hart Lane, and
Yeah.
then we played three I think it was in total. But this
Yeah.
year they've said they're going to play six, so they've doubled it. But they actually said at the end of last season that they're going to play a lot more games, but it's just the police. The police
Police, yeah.
won't do it
That's what
all.
I heard as well.
Yeah,
Um,
so they pulled the plug on it, but they are doing more. So six games, and then it'll go to 12 games. And you know what Nick said, that could well happen. It could well happen because the ladies' game is growing very fast.
yeah, I hope it does. And Stay Humble saying Levy made this club into a cash cow for himself. The sheep are the ones happy to watch Levy make record profits and happy to see him not spend and rip off seniors and help build this club. Yeah, Stay Humble. That's true. It is
It's
unfortunate.
true. It's
But I
true.
don't want
It's
to call
sad.
anybody sheep. I do think that most Spurs fans, whether they support Levy or whether they don't, they they I have a feeling that they think about it very, like all the Spurs fans I have met, we all disagree on a lot of things, but we think about them. It's not like we're just following the crowd. Maybe it's
Yeah,
different for other people, but I feel like people think about these things. Um, yeah, no
yeah,
one's talking to each other. Um, yeah, I think let's just. I feel like we've kind of covered all of this.
yeah.
Um,
The salary cap is an interesting one. Maybe they should have thought of that years and
yeah,
years ago.
yeah,
Because players, I don't know. I just feel that the players don't give as much as the players that I used to watch. It's not like, I don't know. There's something missing in the game. I don't like to say that, but I always feel that some of the footballers, they don't give their all. Not all
yeah. I
the
know what
team.
you mean,
Not.
Ellie. Like,
Do you know
if
what I
you look at
mean?
like Sergio Reguilon, for example, he recently made a statement about he doesn't know where it went wrong at Spurs, and he was so sure that he was going to play. He just didn't want, and then he said this line about how he didn't just want to like. I don't remember the exact line, but it sort of translated to he doesn't want to sit on the bench. And like my response to something is like that is you train as hard as you can day in and day out, and you prove to the manager that you deserve a spot in the starting lineup.
Yeah.
That's your job as a footballer. Like it's not your just because you played in the Real Madrid academy doesn't mean that you are guaranteed a starting position. And like
Mm,
everybody else who comes to that team, all of these, everyone's equal. You gotta prove your spot on the team. Nobody
that's
gets
right.
a handout. So I'm sorry, you like this is the kind of problem I have with professional athletes. They just do not care about the club enough. And it's okay to
No.
be professional. Like I'm a professional. I am employed by my university, but like
Yeah.
I also care about my students. Like that's something you do as part of your job, right? No matter what job you do, you try to do it to the best of your ability. And
Yeah,
that's something that's just a bare minimum for all jobs, I think.
of course.
um, and
Yeah,
then
and I agree with everything you said there.
yeah, Paul G is saying bonjour everyone, hope you're doing well, come on you
Yeah,
Spurs.
bonjour.
Absolutely. Bonjour.
Nice French word.
Yeah. And then Mridang Va is saying, why the Liverpool have cheap ticket system yet they are more successful? Don't they go through with cost increase? It's all excuses. What do you think about this, Ellie? Liverpool?
Yeah, do you see, like Liverpool, when they were going to do that furlough thing, and all the fans went into meltdown, and they retracted it. It just shows you how much power these Liverpool fans have got. But it seems like Spurs fans were a little bit timid when it comes to trying to reverse things. I know we've done a few things, but we haven't done like what Liverpool did. And like their fans are, I love Liverpool as a club, and I know this might be controversial, but I do like their fans as well, because although they support their club in the right way, and they're very successful because they look at their past, and they copy what they did in the past. They don't move away from their roots, and the fans are the same. They're fully behind everything that Liverpool do, and we've got to do the same to model ourselves on what we used to do and bring that to the future. But I think, do you know what? I think Liverpool, they're a different club to us. They've they've been successful because they've built on, like I said, they've built on year out. They had this, they had that, and they always don't move away from their roots. Whereas we did, right? When we hired Jose, when we hired Conte, we moved away from our roots. But at least now, all right, we're fifth in the league, and we haven't progressed as much as I would have liked in terms of getting us up to first or second. I know
Yeah.
we were there, but then we regressed because we didn't have a big enough squad to cope with the losses. You see, whereas Liverpool, Man City, Arsenal, even they've strengthened. We haven't strengthened enough to improve the whole club, and go forward and challenge properly. We couldn't just rely on our first 11. It showed, right? So we've got to really make sure. Like, I don't know if you know this, Ash. Bill Nicholson, he used to scout all his own players, and I think Postecoglou's more or less doing that as well, because he's scouting. But then there are club decisions being made behind his back, because he said that Werner was presented to him. So it wasn't his choice, it was presented to him. And he thought, what the hell, I'm not going to get anything more from the club. I might as well accept him. But it wasn't his choice. So we've got to get the balance right. We've got to give the manager all the power so that he dictates which players are coming in, and not just presented to him. Even Bergvall, that's another one. Did he scout him? We're not sure. If he did, it's a bloody good scouting mission. I know he's got people helping him, yeah,
Yeah.
because you can't do it all alone now, because football has changed. But I just think we need to get back to our roots more and start scouting players that, like, Postecoglou wants, you know. Either he does it or the scouts do it.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with that. And Postecoglou is the kind of person, he's admitted in the past that he used to play Football Manager. So he's the kind of
Yeah.
person who keeps a track of players across continents. So he strikes me as the kind of person who's like in with the whispers about talented players across the world. So and if not him, he should have people in our scouting department who he trusts, who have the same vision as him, and who want the same things as him.
Yeah, and
So that
also
it's like a
I've
group effort.
I've just thought of something, right? So Levy went to Cambridge University, didn't he, to do his talk, right? Why didn't he go to Tottenham College, right by where they bring the trophies? It's right by it, right? So you've got Tottenham College there, and you've got the Tottenham Town Hall, a stone's throw away, right? Go there where the real Tottenham people are. and speak to the real Tottenham people,
Yeah.
about how you want to progress the club and what you're doing and
Yeah.
your vision for the club, so that they can get their input because they're local Spurs supporters who have come through many generations and they're the youngsters for the future. Not
Yeah.
go to Cambridge University is ridiculous.
Yeah. So, Talking Beer is saying that the Levy out, like he's sort of talking in favor of Levy. And, I understand that there are things that Levy has done that are good in the sense that he's an excellent businessman. The concerts, like he's found all these alternate sources of income that people didn't think about, where with the reversible pitch thing where now you can play NFL games, etc. That's possible. That's a vision that assuming that Levy has something to do with that vision. So there are good things in terms of business that Levy has done, but I think that the most important skill of a leader is recognizing the things that he's not good at and delegating them to people who are good at those things. So
Yeah,
Levy should have kept away from the footballing decisions. He clearly knows business. He should have stuck to business and put people other than Steve Hitchens into footballing decisions. Like, think about the amount of money that Steve Hitchens has wasted at Tottenham Hotspur, with these players like Ndombele and the like. And think about the amount of money we have spent on hiring first Jose and Conte and then firing both Jose and Conte. Like, that's a
and Nuno as
lot of
well.
money.
He got a
Yeah, Nuno
14
as
million
well.
pound payoff, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
But what I would do, I would caveat that and say there are many billionaires in this world who could have taken over Spurs, especially at the height after 1991 when we went to pot and we could have gone under. Yeah. And then Levy came in and salvaged what he could salvage and built us up to what we are now. But we haven't moved progressively as a football club in winning things, right? So we've only won one in 24 while he's been in charge. So what you say he's not done well with the footballing side is true. But also we could have had somebody else with a better vision, yeah, with a more connected to what our history was all about, and brought us forward on the football side, and
yeah,
even done even maybe even better than him. You don't know, because there are
yeah,
many wise businessmen who could have taken over. So that's how I would caveat that. He's not the only billionaire businessman who's
yeah,
who saved his club. There's many who have done it. I mean, Man City, look where they were before their money came in. They were nowhere in football, really, in comparison to what Manchester United were doing, what Liverpool were doing. And now they're like the bee's knees of football. They're winning everything and they're knocking everybody out of the park, aren't they? And they're still up there in second. So I just feel that, that's my caveat on it. It's not only Daniel Levy who could have made Spurs, but he hasn't progressed us as a football club in terms of winning things. And that's what us fans want. We want to be glorious again. We don't want to just be part of the numbers, do we? If we're a football club, surely you're in it to win it. You're not in it to be making up the numbers year on year out. You can't always win, but you want to win some things, don't you? You want to be competitive and you want to win some things. You don't want to win one in 24. That's atrocious.
um, yeah.
That's my
So,
rant over.
yeah, that was
I'm just
it
passionate
was a
about
wonderful.
Spurs.
I
I love
agree with
our
it.
club.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I love our club as well. I feel
yeah,
like I agree with everything you just said, Ellie. Um,
yeah,
and apparently so does Football Freak, who's saying hi, wonderful talk and people speaking.
yeah.
I love that. I guess it's a play on talking ball. So
Yeah, and I'm not saying Daniel Levy doesn't love our club, because surely he loves our club in a way that he's made us sustainable and he's made us profitable, and he's doing all these other ventures. It's all good, but there's other people that can take over from him who can progress us as a football club to win things, right, and make finals again. Right, the last final we were in, was 2021, wasn't it? When is it 2022? When we played Man City, that's when
Yeah.
we last made the final, and we lost it because we sacked Jose Mourinho 6 days before the final. I
Yeah,
mean,
that's exactly it.
what club does that?
Like
What club
the
does that?
priorities, right, Ellie? Like it was
That's your
cheaper.
manager, and we've done
Levy.
it to Martin Yeo as well. It's not like it's it's a trend. It's not like a one-off. You know, we've
Yeah,
done it
and
to
that's the thing,
Nuno.
right? Like, the idea, Daniel Levy, I assume, sacked Jose before the final because in the event that he had won the final, it would have been A, harder to sack him, and B,
Yeah,
more expensive to sack him because he would have won a trophy and there are bonuses attached to that. So,
it's like Jose was a trophy on his cabinet, or like people got walking sticks and they put an etch on their walking stick. It's like that. It's like an empowering thing for Levy. Like I've sacked Levy. I've sacked Jose 6 days before final. I'm the big I am.
yeah, but the thing is
It
then,
doesn't sit well with me.
yeah, you're prioritizing your ego over the club's benefit, that's the
Yeah,
problem.
Jose deserved to lead us out. He got
Yeah,
us to the final. He deserved to lead us out. You don't do
exactly.
that. It's sacrilege at a football club. It's not good.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
and
I know a lot of fans were against Jose, but to sack him when he's got you to a final, that's not good.
yeah. Mridang is saying so. So earlier I was saying a player has to prove themselves to get into the team, and Mridang is saying by this, you mean Dragusin is not training well? No, that's not what I mean at all. I'm saying that Dragusin is a young player who's just come into the team. He'll learn the system. He'll train with the players. He's probably learning the language as well because I don't think he speaks fluent English yet. And in any case, it's always hard to go in and halfway through a season adjust to a new place, a new geography, a new culture. Everything is new. So I do think that you should not expect that the minute he comes in the first 5 6 games that he's going to play. The problem also is that we don't have any cup games in which we can test him out. We have only the league left to
Yeah,
play for. So, and VDV and Romero have stabilized their position as centre backs. So it's very hard to get a look in. So I would assume that Ange knows this when he got him in. We were just at a place where we had so many injuries back then that it was just essential to have that backup centre back. And now,
yeah.
for example, the Aston Villa game, I'm not so concerned if Romero gets a red card in the 93rd minute because he slammed into Matty Cash because I know that Dragushin is there to take his place. And so I think it's a little bit of that. What do you think, Ellie?
Yeah, I think Dragusin has to bide his time, doesn't he? Obviously, Ange feels that Romero and Van der Ven, they forged that partnership together early season. They were rocking the whole stadiums they were playing in, and then we got the injuries and the suspension. So he has to bide his time. And obviously, Ange is looking at him in training. He's looking at him what he can offer the team, and he'll wield him in slowly, slowly. He'll get more and more game time, especially if we make Champions League next season and we're in all the cup competitions again. I'm sure he's going to blood him, but I think it'll take an injury to either Van der Ven or Romero for him to get his chance. That's the sad state of affairs that it is, but there's no reason to drop Romero or drop Van der Ven because Romero sorted himself out with his discipline. Everybody must have noticed that. And that Van der Ven is Van der Ven. He's like just five defenders in one, isn't he? He can cover the whole back line if we're caught
Yeah.
out. So he's not going to drop them, is he? So he'll have to
Yeah.
bide his time.
I'm seeing a little bit of people being mean to each other in the chat. You all can have a difference of opinion. It's fine if you like Levy. It's fine if you don't like
Yeah,
Levy. But
cool.
just don't call each other names. Be
No.
nice to each other because we're all Spurs fans, and at the end of the day, we want Spurs to do well. So
Yeah, like agree to disagree. That's the main thing. Just agree to disagree and don't make it personal.
yeah.
Attack the argument, not the person.
I haven't seen this name in the chat before. Gujovil or Gujuvil, I'm not sure.
That's a new one.
Yeah, saying and knows only one way of playing. I'm guessing it's Gujovil because it's with an O. And knows only one way of playing, and the stubbornness will eventually be the reason of his failure. Do you think
Right.
so, Ellie?
No, I totally disagree, and I'll tell you why. Right?
Yeah.
So, Ange, everywhere he's been, he's kept the same style, the philosophy of football, inverted fullbacks, joining the attack, just generally playing on the front foot. And that's where everywhere he's gone, and it's been successful. So, why wouldn't it be successful in the Premier League? And it would have been more successful. You would have seen us much, much closer, or even at the top, if we didn't get so many injuries. And I know other clubs have got injuries as well, but we got them at the peak moment when we were flying. Yeah, all those other clubs fly anyway. They do. They fly throughout the season. They hardly have a dip in form. But we had our
Yeah.
starting 11 that we were relying on, and we lost them. And Ange will not move from his style of football, because do plan A better, there's no plan B, because he believes in plan A. He honestly believes it, and it's got him to where he is today, Tottenham Hotspur manager, right? And he was Celtic manager, and they're a massive club, Celtic, regardless of people thinking it's a farmers league or whatever they think of the Scottish league, right? He still won the treble there, and he's won with Australia's youth, and he's won with Australia's seniors, right? So he's a winner in life, and I really do believe he will get this right. Rome wasn't built in a day. Give him time, and he will show you what he's going to deliver.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. Full, absolutely on the Ange
I
train.
should be his
And
PR lady. You know,
yeah,
come on, Ange, hire me. I'm out of a job.
next
I'm
thing you know, it'll
retired
be
now.
Ellie
I'll
Postecoglou will be
gladly come
next.
out of retirement to do that job.
Queen Ellie
Queen Ellie
Postecoglou
with
for
Ange
her.
Postecoglou. See, my name's Gaguradu. His name's
Yeah,
Postecoglou. There you go. The Greek connection is on, baby.
yeah, philosophers all. And then Ronnie's here saying, "Big up everyone, big up to you, Ronnie." I feel like it's been a while since I said hi to
Ronnie.
you. Um,
I love Ronnie. He's a good man.
Yeah. In hype saying Werner roasted Celtic in the Champions League, which is how I noticed how players get noticed. Werner, whether people like it or not, is an Ange type signing. I actually think Werner's. I feel like
Yeah.
I
We
have
didn't
this
say no
feeling
to
somewhere
him.
that he might come good. Like
But yeah, I mean, he was presented to him and he didn't say no. He could have said
yeah,
no. But I heard some people saying Angie's a yes man. I don't totally agree with that.
yeah. I
Obviously,
don't agree with
a
that
lot of
either.
managers have to say yes to a lot of things that they don't want to, because
Yeah, like that.
they got to
It's like
keep the
that with
peace with
every
the owners
job.
as well. Some of them. But
Yeah,
he
I
is
mean,
a strong man. You can see that he's a strong man and he knows himself. Yeah. So
yeah,
if he thinks something is totally out of order, he will say
yeah,
so.
yeah. Absolutely, I think so as well. What Levy has done is made Tottenham relevant at some level. I
Yeah. Well,
suppose.
it depends how you see relevant.
I have
Relevant
always
as a
thought
football club,
Tottenham was
business
relevant.
wise, yes. Relevant as a club that challenges and wins things, it's the jury's out on that. All right, we've made Champions League final, we made 4 League Cup finals and lost them all. So 24 years, 5, is it 6 times we've been to Wembley? We've won one of them because he was in charge when George Graham was there, wasn't he? Yeah, so yeah, it's not good enough. It's not good enough for a club like Spurs. We should be challenging and being up there every single season, not just one season or 2 seasons. We finished second
Yeah.
to Chelsea, didn't we? But I don't know. I'm disappointed.
Goodroville, I feel like you know the answer to this question. So there isn't. It's a bit of a rhetorical question. Which club has? Which is the only club where Jose and Conte has not won a single trophy? Uh,
Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely. You answered your own question. I suppose it's rhetorical. We all know what it was like. Um, and El Tel Cockerel is in the house, being his
He
bestest
is.
supervisor self,
So said,
saying
Senor Garcia.
Senor Garcia, and then saying good morning, good
I do
afternoon,
thanks.
actually, all you lovely folk in the chat. If you're liking the content, show your support by hitting the like button.
Hit the
Absolutely,
like
hit that
button,
like
please.
button.
Share the
Don't hit it
stream.
twice though.
Share the stream link with your friends as well, with your Spurs mates as well. It
Yeah,
helps. It really does.
yeah, absolutely. Mridang is saying football is not about who has the most monies; it's about winning trophies. Period. Um, I don't think it's just about. I do agree that it's about winning. It's a game, so somebody wins and somebody loses. Second is
Yeah,
just first. But I don't think it's just about winning trophies either, because I do feel like there's a
yeah,
space for like the fact that there's a community of fans, there's a club that means something for that community. There's other things that tie it to it, but it's definitely
yeah.
not all
It
about
brings
money.
people together, doesn't it? It
Yeah,
brings people together who love their club and love the area as well. You know,
yeah,
they love everything about the club, what we're
yeah,
doing. You know, so I do love our club. I just like trophies are very important as well because that's
yeah,
what we're in it to win it. We're not here to make the numbers, so we've got to start winning things. Come on. So we can
yeah,
all celebrate down
absolutely.
Tottenham High Road. Come on, and then Ash can come over. We can go for a lovely
Yeah.
curry as well.
Hey,
Yeah,
if
come on,
we
keep
win,
it in.
Ellie, I'm telling you, I have my visa is ready. If we
Yeah,
win anything
come
ever,
on.
I am just going to hop onto that flight and I will be there like
Yeah, and I'll
immediately.
take you to an Australian pub.
Yeah, why not? But
Yeah.
you don't want to see me drunk, Ellie.
No,
I'm
I
not a
don't
fun
drink
one.
much. I like have it. I have half a Guinness if I go to football. That's it.
Yeah. Um. Uh. See, as Tottenham and Levy are making record profits while Tottenham as a community is living in poverty. Don't believe everything Google tells you, Bear. Yeah, I feel like we've kind of discussed all of these things.
Yeah,
We should move on to the game. I wanted to discuss the Aston Villa game, but it's been
yeah.
like
Come
an
on,
entire stream. So I'm
Matty
just gonna like
Cash. Watch
move
out.
on from all of these. So CR7, the goal saying which part of India am I from? So I'm
Oh,
originally from Goa, but I live in Mumbai and I work in Delhi, which is confusing for people to understand. Um,
yeah.
and I will not give my opinion on who I'm voting for. Sorry, CR7, the goat, because this is not a politics stream. If you want to see politics content from me, sometimes I tweet about it, so you can check that out some other time.
Yeah.
So. Uh, Villa games.
No politics
Um,
here.
Ellie, are you worried about Villa? Some
um,
people are saying this is potentially a six-pointer instead of a three-pointer because of how important it is to our season. Do you agree with that?
yeah. Obviously, they're a very good side, right? And they've got a very, very good home record as well. They played in Europe yesterday against Ajax, a nil-nil draw. So they'll be coming. They would have come home either late or this morning, probably late last night. So they would have landed, and then they've got one day to recover. So we've got a little bit of an advantage there, but it doesn't always work that way. But we've got to take our little advantages where we can. We'll be fresh. We would have trained yesterday or Wednesday, either of those days. So we've got a lot going for us in terms of what the team have been doing lately, coming back from behind. All right, we lost to Wolves, but our record over the last 10 games has been very good. I think it's 2 losses, 6 wins, and 2 draws. So not that bad, right? So we've got to go to Villa optimistic, give them a game, play our game as well. Don't move from our game, like the gentleman said. So we've got to stick to our philosophy, Ange Postecoglou's style of play, which we will anyway. But it's not going to be an easy game, but I think we're going to pip it by 1 goal. It's either going to be 2-1 or 3-2, but I'm hoping it's 3-2 because we beat them. We went 2-0 down to them one season and beat them 3-2. So, and we've got a very good record at Villa Park, mind you. All right, we've lost one or two in recent seasons, but prior to that, we've done very, very well there. So yeah, you remember Jan Vertonghen's late goal when we beat them 3-2 as well, and Sonny's goal when we beat them 3-2. So I think that's going to be the scoreline. I think I think we haven't got it in the bag, but I think we've got enough minerals to give them a game and to pip it by one goal. But it'll be a close encounter. Yeah. So Brad
Yeah.
Matthews is saying, "Oh, you're still there? Yeah, lovely.
Yeah, I was just gonna get the bell. There was somebody at the door.
Yeah,
Um,
okay."
um, Brad Matthews is saying, "How are you, beautiful ladies? THFC
Woo.
board is typical of the super rich. They don't give an F about real people. Anyway, it's a beautiful day, so I'm not gonna let it get me down.
No,
Absolutely,
don't let
Brad.
anything get you down, Brad.
Tomorrow is match day. Tomorrow, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
tomorrow is match day, and it's a wonderful time. Everybody is almost fit except for Pedro Porro, kind of.
yeah.
Um,
He's
so
50-50, I hear. He wasn't in
yeah,
training though. So
yeah,
maybe not. If he's not in training, then I don't think he's gonna make it.
yeah. So even Lo Celso is fit. Can you believe that?
I
So
know. It's a miracle. Miracles do
tomorrow
happen.
we have the best chance I think we've ever had of going there and winning. I do think it's a really important game, so I really do hope
Yeah.
that we do win. Gotta say hi to Bob down under as well. Don't forget you have a dog
Yay.
in the streets from the other side of the world, and get our enjoyment from watching games, watching great YouTube content. Let's down Villa. Absolutely, Bob down
Yeah,
under.
let's go and thrash them. If it's 3-2, I'd like to thrash them 3 or 4-0, but I don't see that happening. I think 3-2 is a fairer result.
Yeah, yeah.
In
Um,
my prediction, yeah.
yeah, absolutely. Um, let's see. Jishnu's here, our resident scout
Hello, Vishnu.
and expert. The only player I'm scared of at Villa is Douglas Luiz. He's everywhere on the pitch. Oh, I know.
Yeah, and he's
Uh,
very aggressive as well. He's a
yeah.
very aggressive
Any
player.
other players, Ellie, that you're scared
Uh,
of or worried about?
yeah, like Ollie Watkins, John McGinn, Musa Diaby, Leon Bailey. They've got so many good players,
Yeah, they have a
and
great
at the
team.
back
I
they've got
think.
Konzo's like a little bit like Van der Ven with his speed. He's a very good
Mm,
defender, reads the game very well, and they've got a fabulous goalkeeper in Martinez as well. So yeah, they're a very good team. I'm not going to mention the one
yeah.
who fouled Bentancur. I'm not going to give him any airtime, right? Because he's a div, right?
do you think?
So yeah,
Do you think for his
we got to
own?
be on our best performance
I
tomorrow.
but you
Beat
know like
them.
I kind of do want to talk about Matty Cash a little bit. Do you think that the plan will
The
be
swear
that
word.
like he who must not be named will the like Emery will tell him constantly that you have to get in on their nerves because Tottenham will lose it if you're like because Matty Cash is such
He
a like
will.
divisive figure.
They'll play on it, and John McGinn will do that, and so will Louis DeWitt. Sorry, not Louis.
Douglas
Douglas
Luiz.
Luiz. I got to the Liverpool player. Yeah, Douglas Luiz. They'll all be doing it. They'll all be trying to turn the screw on Romero, especially. They'll target him, and I just hope that he stays disciplined because it's going to be hard enough beating them with 11 men, yet alone 10. And
Yeah,
Udogi's got a little bit of a history as well, so we've got to make sure that he stays disciplined as well. So I think Angie's instructions is to go out there, stay disciplined, win that football match with all the skills that we've got in our team and outplay them like we did at our ground. We outplayed them, but we lost concentration on 2 occasions and they put the ball away because they will put the ball away, Villa. And you saw that
yeah.
against Luton with their last minute winner with Dinya. You see, so you've got to be wary of them. But I think we've just got the beating of them by 1 goal. Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs. Absolutely.
Yeah,
And Mridang agrees with you. He's saying, leaving it here, we are winning 2-1. That's awesome, Mridang. I really hope that's true. And
yeah.
Bob Down Under is saying, Ollie Watkins is not too shabby. Should be a great game with either side having a good chance. How about a BJ winner? Come on, you Spurs. Yeah, how about
That'd
that?
be
That'd be
great.
amazing.
You know what? He's been coming on as a super sub, so I expect him to score when he comes on. Yeah,
Yeah. I reckon, with the game Kulu had, pardon me, he might even start. Like,
Um,
I don't know why I feel like he might start.
he might do, but I think Kulu will, because we're missing Porro, and then we're going to play Emerson again. So
Oh,
they'll
that
need
is true.
they'll need his work rate at, helping out Emerson, because Emerson can get caught out of position. But he played very well, I thought. Um, yeah, I think he had a really, really good game. So he didn't do much wrong. So I think he's going to keep his place over
Yeah,
Dragutin, who a lot of people are calling to play right back. But I think Emerson will keep his place. Yeah,
yeah. And Akshay Maurya is here. Long time no see,
I
Akshay.
love that.
Uh, Matty Cash is the daddy of all the entire Spurs fan base. And I'm not saying
Yeah,
come on you. I would say come on you Spurs instead, because I do not utter those words.
yeah.
Um, but
Oh my
but I
god,
mean, he
very
does have a
funny.
little bit of a point that we are really obsessed with Matty Cash because we hate him so much.
Yeah, because like he injured Doherty that time with a
Yeah,
really ruthless tackle. It was uncalled for, and then he did the same on Bentancur. And you saw
two
Bentancur's
players.
face. I know Bentancur's face was like he wanted to kill him. And then
Yeah,
he went over to him to shake his hand, and like Bentancur sort of pushed him away, going, "What are you coming over
yeah,
to me for?" Trying to
yeah.
apologise.
And did you see Romero from the sidelines giving him the
Yeah,
dirty eye? Oh my god, that was so
he's
funny.
going to get him. I just
Yeah,
hope he stays disciplined, though, for at least 93, 94 minutes. If he
yeah,
gets sent off the last minute and we're already winning,
yeah,
no, I don't want him to get sent off at all. I just want him to stay disciplined and say everything after the match or before the match to wind him up.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. Like after the whistle blows, I don't mind if just like randomly one person on the sideline just goes whoop.
yeah, yeah. Oh, listen, Ash, I've got to go now because I'm going to
Yeah,
join Kate as well. So
yeah. Just
I
before
do
you leave, any
apologise.
match predictions? Just
Match
give
predictions
us your match
3-2 to
prediction.
Spurs. BJ to get the winner. Come on.
Come on. Yeah, absolutely. Everyone, go. Are you going to Kate's channel, Ellie, after this?
Just a girl who loves Spurs. Just after
Yeah.
this, we're going to start in 3 minutes' time, actually.
So
So
everyone,
get over to Just a
um,
Girl Who Loves Spurs, everybody.
I'm gonna let you go after the end credits. So that's 3 minutes is exactly how much you will have. Go watch Ellie and Kate on Just a Girl Who Loves Spurs. You'll
Yeah,
enjoy
and I
it. It's
think
a fun
Jimbo's
thing.
joining us instead of Mia today because Mia,
Oh,
she's had another engagement. So yeah, come
yeah.
on, let's do
Yeah,
it.
come on, you Spurs. My match prediction for the game is 3-2 Spurs. I think that we'll
Come
win
on,
by
that's
one
it.
goal as well.
And who's going to get the
Um,
winner?
um, I have a feeling it's going to be Timo Werner. It's going to be a Timo Werner winner.
Timo, Timo, come
Yeah,
on.
yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ellie, for coming on and
Thank you,
for taking
Ash.
takeover. And if there are
And
any
good
women
luck
in the
with the
chat,
rest of the show. If you can redirect the viewers to us,
so
that'd be
Ellie,
nice.
the thing is, Colin can do that, but I can't because
Ah,
it
okay.
goes to the YouTube settings. Um,
Okay. All right then.
but
No,
I
no
definitely,
worries. Lovely, lovely being with you, Ash, and much love. Mwah.
yeah.
Take care.
You as well,
And
Ellie.
to everybody in our chat today, thank you very much. There's memberships available as well, so get over to the memberships. Lovely.
Go
Thank you,
on, Ellie.
Jose.
Go
Take
on.
care. Bye bye.
We have El Tel Cockerel in the house,
I,
main supervisor of this channel and of us, the adult in the room. How
I
you
did
doing, Jose?
not bad. I didn't know whether you wanted someone because she was jumping out, so I thought I'd quickly jump on if you wanted to, if you needed some help. So I've just jumped on quickly.
Oh, tell us your match prediction then for the Villa game.
I haven't heard Postacoglu's presser yet because he's due to go in his presser in half an hour's time. However, all will be revealed because we've got the predictions show at 4 o'clock this afternoon. So I will give my
Okay.
predictions out at 4 o'clock this afternoon. So if anybody wants to join in our predictions show, you're more than
Ooh, he's
welcome.
building up the suspense.
we provide our predictions for game week 28, and everybody takes part. I've already received 10 sets of predictions already, including yours, Ash. So I already know what you've predicted. I already knew what Elliot predicted because you two have already provided them to me. But if people want to make their predictions, come and watch us at 4 o'clock on here, Talking Ball, and they'll tell Cockerell where we go through the predictions later
Yeah.
and take your predictions as well.
Yeah, David apparently predicted the Arsenal score before the Spurs scored. David, what's wrong with you? Saying 3-1 Spurs. Uh, that's nice to hear. And heart says 5-0. My heart always says 5-0. I wish it was 5-0 every game. I want the game in which we win a comfortably 3-0, 4-0. Just one game. It can't be this game because it'll be a cracker. But some game, I want to see it happen.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, David Shearer, I've got yours. I've got your results as well. You're one of the 10 people. Ash, Ellie, I've got a few of you already. I've got some new people playing this week. So Alan Clark from Time Added On has joined us this week for this week's predictions. So we've got a
yeah.
few new players that have joined in this week as well. So it's all good.
Yeah. So I'm going to let everyone go now. It's been a wonderful show. Thank you, Jose, for helping us through that little last bit. Um, uh, Jose, what are the prediction show? Anything else that's coming on in the near
Yeah, just
future?
no. For this week, we've just got the predictions show on Talk and Ball and El Tel Cockerel at 4 p.m. For people that can't join the shows, if you wait for the show to finish on El Tel Cockerel at the end of the stream and leave a comment there with all your predictions, I'll get you into the league. Otherwise, come on at 4, tell us your predictions, and we'll add you to the predictions league. And
Yeah.
apart from that, we're doing a watch along on Sunday, which will be Colin, Chang, and myself, because some other people, and we're not good enough for them at the moment. I'm
I'm
joking.
just busy. I'm busy.
But
Anyway,
for people like Gujaville, who is not a Tottenham supporter, you're more than welcome to join us and put your predictions in later. Akshay, you're more than welcome to as well, and Mr. Udang is more than welcome to come on later as well. Just come in and
oh wait,
in a hype as well. Come and join us for predictions and get your predictions in and join the league.
yeah, absolutely. And Leo's just popped in for a sec. So everyone, hi Leo. Jose, you have
Hi
to do this.
Leo.
Hi Leo. So everyone, and Swap is saying 4-2. Um, everyone, go and watch Just a Girl Who Loves Spurs. They're doing an amazing show there. I'm gonna let you all go, but I hope that we win tomorrow. Come on, you Spurs.
Go
And
to
I'm
if you jump across to just to go love Spurs, tell them that Ash sent you from Talk and Ball.
yeah, absolutely. Do that. Be hashtag Talking Ball Raid.
Yeah.
And as usual, we let you go with the James Madison song. That's as soon as I can find it. Um,
Thank you everyone for
My team has got James Madison. James Madison is what we need. Whoa, thank God we got James Madison. This kid plays ball like you would never believe. Whoa.